Hello guys, today I'm going to have a different type of video. I know last time I did like a Forsaken video. This time I'm going to be going over the dangers of AI, why we shouldn't have it, all that. If you have a rebuttal or why you are against it, against what I said, or you have something to add on to my part of the debate, just be free to comment down and please like and subscribe before I begin. So, obviously, we know the whole Grok situation where people were asking Grok to remove random women's clothes, and it was just really weird and uncomfortable for most people. I believe Elon fixed it, very much against Elon, but I'm just saying that I believe he fixed it. And Grok was spewing anti-Elon rhetoric, so that was good, but he was not being used properly. And when I say I'm against AI, I do not mean all AI. I mean all of generative AI. This includes chatbots, generative AI videos, ChatGPT, all of that. Bad. Don't agree with it. The difference between AI and generative AI is that AI is just a compilation of something, like sorted out. It's not generating anything new. It's just sourcing through information and it's presenting it to you. Like with our old Google, before it had AI overview. That's what it did. Now with AI overview, it's completely different. And that is a problem. Now, AI has a lot of environmental issues. When I say environmental issues, I mean like using up water. And before you say, how can AI use up water? It doesn't have a mouth. It can't absorb it. It is adding chemicals and other things to the water and messing up the water system. Before you say, how can I mess up the water system? The water system sucks up water and then redisputes it. It's redisputing it in different places. When it's redisputed into different places that are not used to having water, such as deserts and other places, are being flooded very easily. And that is compared to places like the rainforest, which is no longer getting water because all the water is going to the desert. And now I'm using this as an example. Obviously, it's going other places, and it's mostly happening in small suburban places. Not suburban, but like with the most recent AI data center that was built by, I believe, Elon Musk. Might be wrong. Don't quote me on that fact. I did do research for this video. I just couldn't find an article over that with the browser I'm using, Ecosia. I do love what they're doing with the environment. It's just a bit more difficult to use, but I do really suggest it. So, as you might know, Grok, Twitter's AI, was recently taking off grown women's clothes. Now whenever I say grown women, I do not mean to demean them, and I'm saying that as in they did go through something and they did not need this to happen, and this should not have happened. We shouldn't have AI at all. But the difference is that this is also happening to children. Pedos and people such as that are now able to just generate images that are not appropriate of children in seconds. And there's nothing to prevent that. As you can say, Texas recently passed a law, and that's great on Texas, but what about the rest of America? What about the rest of the world? They still have access to generative AI, and it is still being used in that way. This is not going to prevent it worldwide. I do like that Texas passed that law. I think it was very necessary for how AI is advancing, but it doesn't really stop the issue. Now I'm going to show a video above of how this is used. It's an AI video of young girls. Water, of course, is not the only resource AI is using up. Of course, they're using energy. And whenever you say energy is like all this stuff that we can always get more of, it really isn't. And as you saw in the articles that popped up on the screen before, we only have a few years to fix our water issue. If we say I ignored the energy thing, I'm not. I'm going to circle back to that. I'm just bringing up all the topics and then I'll circle back to them. But basically, the water is, like I said, it's being redisputed. It's just really messing everything up. And the same thing is happening with energy. except energy obviously can't be messed up. Energy is just, it's hard to explain, but basically energy is being completely guided towards those places, and it's just really messing up the power grids, and it's overall a bad thing. And back to the water, the UN, United Nation, says that we have, I believe it said 3 to 5 years. It's a 3 or 5. I don't remember. I'll pop up the article in a second. You can read it yourself. But they claim that we have a limited amount of water, and AI is consuming all of it. Obviously not all of it, but like most of it, because people are reliant on it so much. So before you go and you make AI write your essay for you, just think about environmental impacts that it's going to cause in the future or in the near future or even the present. You can see kids being used in AI in more innocent ways whenever parents just like add a photo of their kid to ChatGPT or something to make them dance. Might seem innocent, but people can use their likeness in other prompts. You don't know what your child is going to be used as. A random grown man could say, make a white child, make a Caucasian child with blonde hair, blue eyes, do X act, or do X thing, or dance in X outfit. It is highly inappropriate, very dangerous. Another reason, highly against AI. At least in that, seems fairly innocent. And I looked at the person's page. It does seem like it's a mother doing it. Doesn't seem like she's aware of the things that this can cause. An AI-generated page, such as this one, as we see, it seems like a toddler/baby holding the cat to the wall. I turned the audio down so you could hear me. But all their videos are like. Here's a video of me just scrolling through their page for proof that all of their videos are almost identical to that one.
Kitty, why you say meow at me? Okay? Don't meow at me, 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 okay?
In this portion of the video, I'm going to go over how to spot AI. I will be using that account as an example on how I spotted that they were AI, if it isn't apparent already, but I feel like this should help. A couple different ways to spot that this is AI, such as the electric socket in some of these videos distorting, there being a different background in every single video, the cat constantly changing, and you could just think, why would they have so many cats? And we can also see the baby kind of change in most of these videos, but like it's slight things that you wouldn't notice if it just came across your For You page, which is a problem because most people aren't going to investigate the account. And this is why I think we should be gaining media literacy. And this is investigating things, making sure they are not AI, double checking what we are consuming before we consume it, before we share it. Fact check all your information. Going back to the chatbot problem, people using chatbots is a problem because it is triggering the instant dopamine, and not only that, it is also trying to eliminate human interaction. By that, I don't mean like it's trying to make us never talk to people, but it's trying to replace your friends and romantic relationships with AI. And we shouldn't be doing this because human relationships and human communication is a highly necessary part of the world. And I know like different regions have different languages, so it's complex, but it's still very necessary. That's how we share ideas. That's how we change. That's how the world comes to a revolution. That's how everything changes. We need to speak up. And if we're replacing our relationships with a simple chatbot that has no mind and is basing its ideology off of what you previously told, it's obviously just going to tell you what you hear instead of giving you an actual opinion like a person would. And we could see this in ChatGPT and a whole bunch of things. I'm mostly done with this video. I've been recording for 3 days now, so I don't feel like pulling up my articles, but please do your own research here if this is something that interests you. This personally was a topic that interested me. I wrote like a whole really long essay about it, turned that in for a test grade. I got a 100 on it. My teacher loved it. I think I really did a great job on it. I cited my sources. I was going to show an image of the energy consumption, but I couldn't find it. Going back to the energy consumption, you might say, doesn't matter. Like the water. Doesn't really have environmental issues, now does it? It's increasing your electricity bill. There most people don't pay your bills, but your parents do. And that is taking money out of your college fund or something of that sort that could be going into savings or funds or getting you a little extra treat or something of that sort. And they're spending that on the electricity bill because people can't stop using AI. One AI image takes about enough energy, like roughly about enough energy to charge a phone. It's 0 to 100. Doesn't seem like a lot, but think of the hundreds of thousands of people who are doing this every day. Think about all the videos that are being generated to get money. I am very against AI. I'm trying to cut AI completely out of my life, but with apps, websites, and all that stuff, like shoving AI in your face and having it integrated into most systems, very hard to avoid. I'm not rejecting that claim. So, I know people will not be able to completely get rid of generative AI. I'm saying minimalize your exposure. Like, let's say you use, ChatGPT to help you on your assignment sometimes. Don't do that. And I would also suggest, like I said earlier in the video, go to Ecosia. It's Ecosia. It's a great browser. Like I said, I personally have problems with it. I'm also not the smartest person tech-wise, so I think that might just be a me issue. But they plant trees and they help with environmental issues. They actually have their own AI. Like I said, I don't use. But it's supplied by green energy from wind turbines, and it's a really great thing, and I think you should look into it to see if you might use it. And yeah, I really think more people need to be talking about these issues. And I know people have already made a whole bunch of things that are like, oh, why AI is so bad, and they'll talk about the misinformation, which is a whole nother thing. This is giving people false medical advice and causing worse injuries than what it was before. Let's say somebody has a muscle strain, right? Because they use some like AI fitness app, and it gave them bad information, got a strain on a muscle, right? They pulled something. Not really into fitness, so I couldn't tell you the words. But they hurt themselves doing a workout. They asked ChatGPT, what is this? Because health insurance is wild. Medicare, everything, so expensive right now. They can't afford to go to the hospital. So go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT tells you just put some ice on it, or tells you to do something crazy. You do it, and it makes your situation worse. This is the spread of misinformation. Or you could use ChatGPT as a news source, which I would not suggest doing at all, because it might seem like it's unbiased, but it really is, because it forms itself around your previous chats to it. So let's say you accidentally mentioned some of your political claims before this, it's going to bring up that. It's going to put you on that side. It's not going to be completely unbiased. If you're doing a research project, I would suggest Pew Research. It's really great. I believe it's the most unbiased news source I could find. It is a little bit different than most news sources, though, so I think it's actually a research source. I couldn't tell you the exact thing, but I would look into using Pew Resources, or Pew Research, Overall, be careful with what the media you're consuming and sharing to make sure you are not spreading harmful things and you are not worsening the environment. And I know the AI videos, don't share them. That just encourages them to make more, and that's just going to snowball into worsening the environment, creating it easier for people to make videos of children or subject women to things they did not consent to doing with AI. Alright, guys, I think that's it for my video. I love you. Like and subscribe. Bye!